I'm just getting set up. Just going to give it a couple of minutes to see if anyone shows up with me besides Miss Cindy. Let's see. And I have the chat open in case you guys have any questions before before at the end of the video where I said that, you know, we can unmute and ask questions. If you have any questions before that, go ahead and just type them in the chat box. I hope you guys all love the image that we're doing today. So I know that Susan will not like this image very much, but we're practicing hair. So this is a really good image for that. This is from the East Wind. It's called Rose Garden. If you go into the calendar, it will have a link to this image if you guys want to buy it. There's also a huge PDF that's like, it's like $20 by the East Wind. It has all kinds of different hair and stuff like that to practice. And this is from that book. So I'm going to start out with E50, E53, 55, and 51. Just so that we can practice some blonde hair. And I have all of mine cut out so that we can do the different hair. One thing that I did want to show you guys though, because her eyes look just super, super creepy. But I wanted to show you that when they're not colored, they are super creepy, but when they are colored in, they don't look quite so bad. So I'm going to use B05, B00, and B02 really fast, just to color these in a little bit. So this part right here is supposed to be like a shine, like if the sun or a light bulb or something like that was shining on your eye. And I'm just gonna pull this out just a little bit from the B05. And one thing I was going to show you guys too, I'm going to go ahead and color this in with the B02. I mean, the coloring for the eye right there, that's like a huge white, like glare kind of color, but it still works. And then I'm just going to take a C2 and I'm just going to go along here. Normally I would take a little bit lighter, but this is what I have handy right here. I would use like a C1 or something, but that's for the shadow of your eyelids. And then one thing I wanted to show you guys is I've started using a white charcoal pencil. And you know what, now that I see this, I think I need to zoom in a little bit more. Let me see if it'll let me zoom in some more. There we go. So that's a little better. So, but if you take, I've started using just a white charcoal pencil for like glass and stuff like that. And I've noticed it works pretty well on eyes too, but she still looks kind of like a lizard. There's nothing I can really help, but I don't really use this image for cards or anything like that. It's mostly just for the hair. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the hair. since it's a few minutes after 3. So you guys will have to chat at me or something like that if I go off the screen, and if I do, I'm super sorry. So all these curls are seriously nuts. So usually when I have something like this, I just go around the outsides of the curls first, and I do everything in sections just like we did last week. So I'm going to start with this section right here, her bangs. And I'm just going to go right along the outside of where the bangs are to kind of separate that part out. Hello, Miss Donna. So I'm just going to go along here and go right here. So I'm just going to work on this part right here for now. So this part, you can see kind of swoops down like so. So this is so complicated. So here's a loop right here. So this right here is going to be darker. This is in towards the front. And then this is going kind of behind. So I'm just going to pull that out this way. And then we're going to have some coming around here. And it's a little bit harder to see with blonde hair than it is the dark hair. So if we have time, I'm going to go ahead and do this with dark hair as well. But I'm just coming up from where her skin would be. You know, I might just work on this section right here for now, because this is a little twisty, curvy here. So that was E53. Now I'm going to go ahead and use E51 and just come around a bit. You know, on second thought, it looks like it's kind of hard. Is it kind of hard for you guys to see the blonde? If it is, then I'm just going to go ahead and go with the dark colors first. If you guys can just throw in the chat box whether you guys can see what the heck's going on or not. So that was E51. I'm going to go ahead and go with, it is a little hard. That's what I thought. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to start a new one here, get rid of these colors. And I'm going to go ahead and go, I didn't pull my 29. I'm going to go ahead and go with my E29, 23, 27, 25, and 21. Might not use all these colors, but I'm going to start out with these colors. So I'm going to go ahead, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and start with the 27. And again, I'm just going to go, since this one does have a lot more curls than the one that we did last week, I'm going to go ahead and go around the outside of these ones. And then I'm going to put a little bit right here to know that's where it kind of twists around. And I'm just making my outline as to where the heck all this business is going, because this is craziness on this hair, but I love it. It really helps. I love this image because it helps you to practice making those curls stand out, and just really makes it's great. is just really great practice. And again, you're going to hear the noise from my rabbits because Carmela seems to think that she's part Roadrunner today. So I'm going to put a little line here. And this right here looks like it's coming, like it comes down right here. Kind of goes this way. So I'm going to go ahead and go across here. And then this part looks like it's coming up and going in. So I'm just going to go up and around here. Kind of bring that forward. Go ahead and pull this part out. And again, I'm not staying in the lines or anything like that. And it looks like it comes around down here. So this, I'm going to go ahead and just come around this way, and then I will be able to just come and use that for a base to just kind of bring all that hair up and around. Okay, and then it's going to come this way as well. But I'm still going to leave that white through the center here. Thank you, Donna. They are very interesting, to say the least. And I'm glad that you like the image. A lot of people think it looks weird. So that's how I'm going to do this one. And then this, I'm going to go ahead and just, a nice thing is that the creator of this used a lot of lines to help you figure out which way the hair was going, which way, you know, the flow of the hair should go. So you have a lot of direction. It's just finding that direction because it's 2D. And so it gets a little bit hard to figure out. Sometimes too, when I'm doing hair like this, I like to put these lines in there so I can, I'm not going into someplace else. And I can kind of keep myself straight and kind of keep myself in the lines. Kind of like when we were kids and would color in the coloring books and things. So this is just coming up from her skin. Same with right here. So this image we may not get done today together because this is a lot of hair. But, you know, print it out as much as you want because it's great practice for hair. It's great practice for curls. I mean, it's all around fantastic practice. So I'm going to go around and go this way. So this is going to get darker as it goes in. And then right here, because it swoops in to make like the inside of a bow, I'm just making this a little bit darker. Then it looks like I need to get this part right here. And while it looks like it's starting to blend in a little bit, we will pull this out with E29 so that it's not quite so much. Okay, so that was E27. Now we're going to go ahead and do E25. Can you guys see that? Here we go. Trying to stay in the picture here. So now I'm just going to go in between the E27 lines, kind of fill this in a little bit as much as I can. If I go over the E27, that's okay as well. Hair isn't perfect, so you don't want your hair to be absolutely perfect either. So I'm just going to try and get all the lines that are coming down so I'm not switching this thing all over crazy town for you guys, making you all kinds of seasick. Here we go. This again, I'm making this just a little bit darker because it's all supposed to fold in on each other. Pull that down a little bit. Now I'll start going the other way. And if you leave the centers a little bit white, because it is going in the different directions, you'll still get that shine, and it'll still show that it was a that all the hair is going a different direction. But this will definitely help you to practice thin flicks and things like that. So in the chat in color on Saturday, I think it was, I want to say it was Debbie that said that she's, doesn't get the thin flicks, or maybe it was Susan, I don't know, said that she doesn't get the thin flicks like I do. This is definitely a practice type of thing. And it's mostly just holding your pen, like I told, because Paula was having problems with it too. And she said that when I told her to hold it like a paintbrush, instead of like, putting pressure on it like a crayon and holding it tight like a crayon, it really seemed to help her out. I'm going to get this little section here. So I don't know if that would help any of you, but it helped me at first when I was first learning. So I'm going to go ahead and go with E23. I'm just going to pull this down just a little bit. Because I still want to leave some room for E21. And this, I still want to, I'm just going to color that in right there. Okay, and then get this side. Oh, I just realized I didn't do that side with E25. I'll have to go back and do that. Or maybe I'll just pull it out with the E23. Okay, go ahead and get this side. So I really like how it's starting to come together with the color. Okay, now I'm going to use the E21. There we go. So what do you guys think so far? Donna, am I going to get to see yours when it's done, or Cindy? Or do y'all think I'm nuts? Thank you, Donna. I think I really like this one in brown hair. I think it's really pretty. I'm glad you said something so I would change it. Okay, so for the E29, I'm going to go back. Whoops, wrong end. I'm going to go back and I'm going to get all those little tiny bits. That need to come forward. This one, I'm actually drawing some little hairlines in there because that needs to be darker. Then I'm going to put some here. And I'm actually, the way the hair swirls around right here, actually going to put one right here. To kind of make that a little bigger. And then I can just see how that really brings that out and brings it forward. And it separates it from the rest. There we go. Okay. This one, instead of coming up from her hairline, this one I'm actually going to come down right there. So then we need a line here. And we can come up this way. And then I'm going to do another one right here. Here we go. And then right here, this needs to come forward as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that in there. And then right here, that needs to come forward. But see how the E29 is making everything come out and stand, you know, a little bit more, like just gives it shadow. So certain things will stand out and certain things will go back behind. And right here, I want this to stand out a little bit more, along with this right here. There we go. Let's see. Some point right now, I'm just watching. I know. And you turned your video off, so I can't see your face. Thank you. Yes, I love using the darker colors to get some depth, to make it all really stand out. It's one thing I love doing. So, and I can always go back with, say, because whenever I do the darkest color, which would be the E29, I don't go to the next step down to blend it out, because then it just blends out the depth. What I would do is I would go down, excuse me, to E25, and then that will really make it come out even more. I really love how that really dark, the 9s give it that real deep color. But like I said, this image can take a while, but it is fantastic practice, especially to get all those swoops and curls and all that business in there. It's crazy. There we go. So this right here alone took me 25 minutes to do. So imagine how long it would take to do the entire image. So now I'm just going to pick another section, and I think I'm going to go ahead, and this section seems like it would be a little bit easier. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this section right here next to her face. Might as well do the hard stuff while I'm with you, right? So again, I'm going to go ahead and take my 27, and I'm just going to figure out where these curls go. So we know that this right here on her face, this just comes down like this. So this will come out over here. Then we have this. It loops here, it comes out here. Let's see. Here we go. That would come out that way. This is going to loop around and start going in to this curl. And then it still curls around right here to go underneath. See how it just kind of comes down like this and around and starts to swirl inward. So this one, I usually try to start from the center and follow it out. So this one, here's the center, and then it comes around this way, but it gets hidden by this outside part. And then this comes out and goes around. So, but this is the outside of that curl. So it kind of just comes around this way and comes up right here. And then this is just coming out from somewhere. Honestly, when my hair is longer, it kind of looks like this when I put my hot rollers in until I pull it all out. It's kind of funny now that I think about it. So this all just comes down. This comes down this way. See, this is the bottom of that curl. And then we have the bottom of this one. So this one kind of wraps around, comes down like this, but it's also wrapping in and kind of going into the center there. So I'm going to go ahead and start making a lot more of my strokes now. Start coming out this way. And then this goes in through the center, like just like the other ones. Oh, you know what, Donna? I just realized I should have done this one in black too. So I'm just trying to get everything the way that it's supposed to go. Following the lines, but not putting my flicks. I'm just using them for guidance as to where they go. And this is going to come around this way. And have some coming up from the bottom. There we go. So what would you guys like to, I'm starting to look at my calendar for next month. Especially since I'm going to be in Orlando or not Orlando, I'm going to be in Fort Myers in April. So I'm trying to get my calendar figured out. So what would you guys like to practice in April? If you guys have anything that you guys would really like to practice, let me know. So I'm going to go ahead and get this right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and move on to my E25. Fur and clothing texture. Like fur on clothing or like just clothing? Actually, it's so funny that you bring that up because doing designs on clothing, like patterns and things like that, is what I'm actually teaching down in Fort Myers. So now down to the E25. So we'll be able to get some good practice in for sure. If that's what you want me to do. I'll even, you know what? I don't think she would say no, but I will go ahead and ask, because I'm making all the practice sheets for my portion of the retreat, the coloring retreat. So I will ask Christine from Paper Nest Dolls if it's okay if I use those same practice sheets with you guys. Because her clothing is really basic, but it's easy to put patterns on, so it's really nice. So this right here, I'm going to finish out. Fur like on animals, clothing texture patterns. Okay. I was pretty sure you meant fur like on animals, but you know, just wanted to be sure. So just coming around the edge, this curl right here is proving to be hard. I'm actually just filling in the little, and I'm not even doing flicks. I'm just doing little like circles, filling in those centers to make it a little bit easier. Those centers are so tight, it's really hard to really get any flicks in there. And when you go back in with the E29, it'll be easy to put depth in there so that it won't look like you just scribbled in there. So let's see. This one going that way. Here we go. And then I might be teaching at the Scrapbook Expo in Orlando this summer too. I'm not sure yet if I can do that. That kind of depends on where I'm at as far as getting my degree done. There we go. Yeah, like little fur coats, Cindy, that would be fun. Little Eskimos. Totally did not pay attention to this curl right here. So now just going up. Once you figure out on this one, once you figure out where the curls are and where they're going and what's going on with them, it's easier to do all your flicks and all your strokes and things like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and use E23. And I'm not going to use it a whole lot because I still want to put the E21 in there, but the curls here are not quite as big as the ones on the top. So I'm just going to be using this E23 kind of sparingly and just doing a few flicks here and there, just kind of random. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and go with E21. And I'm just filling in the white parts, not really doing anything as far as, you know, making sure where my flicks go or anything like that. Filling in these ones a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the E29. I'm really happy you made me do the brown, Donna. Seriously, I'm so happy. So the E29, whoops, I just went in her face. I'm going to go ahead and just go around her face a bit. Kind of going over the same spots that I did with the E27. Here we go. But I'm just drawing that little line and I'm making that a little bit darker right here, not completely, but just a little bit. And then right here, like I said, we would go ahead and put some E29 in there. And I'm just going like this with some flicks. Like same in this one, I'm just doing some flicks, but you can see how it really makes that a little bit deeper so that those curls come out, or the centers of them get deeper and the curl part comes out a little better. So now I'm just gonna pull this out just slightly right there, and then I'm gonna pull it out just a little bit right here as well. then right here, pull that out. And then this, remember this curled around. So I'm just putting a thin E29 right there. Actually, I'm just getting it in the way. There we go. I'm just gonna put some right here to kind of make this part, because you can see how it all goes into each other. So I'm just deepening that part to make it really look like it's curling into itself. Getting right here. For some reason, this right here just does not look right to me. So I'm just going to go in there and put kind of a thicker line right there. Then we've got some right here. And this is where it's going to get really super deep, is when you have lots and lots and lots of curls that are just folding into each other. Just brought you the mail and you got your marker bag. Oh, I'm so happy that you got that. That's so nice. I had a lot of fun making those, especially after I figured out what to put my heat press on. Before I got the heat press on, there were a few cuss words because they kept coming apart. I was so sad. So I'm really, really happy that you guys enjoy those, and I hope you get some use out of them. So then I'm going to go ahead and put some here, and I'm just going to put that line right there, because since that's underneath, that's going to give you a little bit of shadow from the curl on the top. And then right here, it curls into itself. So let me turn it this way. That way I can pull instead of push. I always just get thicker lines whenever I pull, or when I push, when I go this way, than when I push. I'm so confused right now. I'm so tired. So I'm going to come up from the bottom. I'm going to come up from the bottom here too. So what I meant was, here, I'll use this one because I know I'm going to, so this is pulling, and you can see I can get thinner lines here. And then this is pushing. You can see I get thicker lines. So if you're doing thicker lines, you may want to see if you are a pusher when you get full, or if you get thin, if you're a puller. So that can make a difference for you too. I think that also made a difference for Paula. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm sorry. I get, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I have, I honestly feel like I have COVID again. But I haven't been out and about or anything like that. So the only place I could get it is from my husband if he brought it home from work. But I have a feeling it could just be my fibro acting up too, because I've been so tired that I can't even think straight. So I'm really, really sorry if I confused you guys with the push and pull thing. Yesterday I went to bed and I told my kids I was going to go take a nap at like 2:30. And I went in and I took a nap, but I slept till 6:30. I got up and had dinner and went back to sleep and didn't get back at like, I think it was like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then I didn't get back up until 7:30 again. And I still feel like I could sleep for just weeks on end. So I'm going to go ahead and just get some E29 right in here. There we go. Get some back in here and get some right here. And now I can take that E25, and you can even do it with E23 too if you want to, and just smooth that out a little bit. Here we go. I think the E29 and the E25 is like my absolute favorite part of the whole thing, is putting all that depth in there and just watching the hair come alive. Well, not alive, but you know what I mean. Here we go. I really hope you guys will show your pictures of your hair when you're done with yours. So is there a section on here that you would rather me do before the other, or are they all equally just do that section? Because we still have about 15 minutes. That Lucy icon for Lucille. Oh yeah, now I know what you're, yep, it does, doesn't it? Yep, definitely. Ooh, red hair would look really good on this. So I'm just going to keep going around. I'm going to go ahead and do this part now, right here. Thank you, Cindy. Donna, it looks all the same. Yeah, it kind of, it really kind of looks all the same to me too. So back to the E27 so that we can map out where these curls are going. I need to remember to stay over here. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and do all the way over to this one. So I'm going to go around her face here. There we go. Does it help that, because I know a lot of people get really overwhelmed with hair. I don't know if you guys do or not. But does it help that I suggested doing it in sections, or does that make it harder for you guys? I can't do hair all, like, unless it's straight hair, then yeah, no problem at all, but not curly hair, not like this. I have to do it in sections. Oh, good. I'm glad that that helps. I mean, and you can even take, when you're doing yours, you can even take smaller sections if you want to. You don't have to take quite as big sections as I do. I mean, heck, you could do just one curl at a time and not even worry about the rest of it. So let's see this one. See, this one goes all the way kind of in. This right here makes me think of 007, to be honest. I think it's funny. So, and then this is just a black hole. So we can just color that in, because that's all that's going to do. It's just going to go into itself. Let's see. And this kind of comes around this way, goes back that way. This is another one of those little black holes right here. Kind of comes this way. So pull this down. And this is going to come out. That's going to be just filled in. This right here, this is kind of coming this way and then rolling up on itself. I have to say, the gal who drew this, I can't pronounce her name correctly, but she is definitely talented and actually really has some serious patience with all these different curls and stuff. And all of her artwork is like this. All of it has this tremendously curly, wonderful hair. So this is going to come, this one is actually coming around this way. And then coming down and around like this. And then it also right here is where it kind of swirls in. So I need to pull that out from this side while going down at the same time. This curl is actually probably easy because it's just like the ones above and just goes back, you know, just like a little ringlet here. This is kind of the same way, but it's going in a different direction, and it looks like it's kind of connected to this one. Okay, and then this one is going to come this way, get darker as it goes up. This one comes up. This one's coming out. This one is kind of, you can see it's kind of coming out this way, but it's also like it's just a really tight swirl. So I'm just going to outline this a little bit. Coming out right here and then tucking itself under and swooping into this one, I think. Whoops. Okay, and then it's right here, comes out this way and down from here. Then we need to come up from right there. I think besides this one and this one, I've got all of them in this section. Okay, so now I'm going to go on. Weird question. When using 4 colors so often, do you keep the caps off or I'm popping them on and off. I don't leave my caps off because if I do, then that tends to make them kind of dry out and it can cause them to get kind of goopy. if it's just really quick, like if I was just doing, say I was just doing like this curl right here and that was it, then I would leave them off if it's just really quick, you know, changes and stuff. But since it's taking me so long with like the E27, then I go ahead and I pop them on and off. And that is not a weird question. You annoy your husband. That's funny. It annoys my husband too. So, but I mean, you wouldn't believe how many times it's either that one, like, do you leave the caps off? And I also get asked a lot about ink. For some reason, people use archival ink, which is a pigment ink, which is really not good to use with your markers because it will mess up your nibs really bad. So here we go. Let's see. I think I already did that one. Come up on this side. I really think it is a man thing, Cindy. I really think it is. Although when me and my husband got married, I made my own wedding invitations and I had put eyelets on them and I made 150 invitations. And this was what, almost 20 years ago, I think. We've been married so long and I'm terrible at dates. I'm not your typical female where I know what day we started dating and stuff like that. He's the one who remembers that part. But so he would hear for days on end the banging because it was, you know, the little chisel thingy and then the hammer that you had to use for it. And so, yeah, if he even sees a little tiny eyelet hammer anymore, oh my goodness, it's like he's got PTSD or something. It's hysterical. So just getting that in there. And now I'll switch to the other side. Here we go. I'm just leaving, this is E25, so I don't want to use too much of it, but I do want to leave room for 23 and 21 as well. But it's a little bit harder on these smaller curls. So right here, I'm leaving that because she might get sun coming in from right there, because we haven't really said where our sun is coming today. It's just, for me, it's just hitting her on all directions. So I think that you guys have seen me do this enough. If you guys want to open your mics up or anything and you want to ask any questions, feel free. Because I'm not worried about finishing all of this out. I can't hear who is that?
I think it's me. Cindy.
Cindy? Oh, okay. You don't have your camera on, so I can't see your pretty face.
Oh, you don't want to see this pretty face today.
There's Donna. Yeah, I just turned my camera off so that you guys can't see me because I feel like if I'm talking, I should be looking at you and I can't look at you and color at the same time. That's just not going to happen. And then I'll feel rude. So I keep moving to like this side of my paper and I don't know why there. I don't know what my problem is. So let's see. Do you guys have any questions for me? Miss Donna,
No,
currently watching.
I just love the dimensional look the different tones give it. It's really another amazing lesson in hair texture. Yay.
Thank you. This is one that I really thought, if any of them, and I just realized I did not color that part, that if any of them would be able to show depth or anything like that this would definitely be the one to do it. This one she's had this, I'm serious, you guys need to check out that link for I'll send you the link again for the book on the hair. It's a PDF that you download. And I think it's got, I want to say 15 or 20. It's only like $1 an image or something like that. But it's all just different. I mean, like wind blowing through the hair, swoopy hair. It's just all kinds of hair. And it's a wonderful book, especially if you want practice. And then some of them, I don't know what they're called. They look like kaleidoscopes to me. The coloring books that some people, it's called adult coloring, but it looks like kaleidoscopes or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's what all the different hair images in this book remind me of. It's just, unless hair completely frustrates you to death, then it might not be so relaxing. But for me, doing this kind of hair and just sitting there and figuring out where it goes and stuff like that can be so it's relaxing and it's fantastic practice on, especially if you need help with your thin flicks and your depth. This will definitely do it for you. Totally. So let's see, try to get this one a little bit more. Yeah, and the question about the ink caps, totally, that's a really good question. I get that a lot.
All you can hear is pop, 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 pop.
There is a gal that I follow, and it's funny, so maybe it's not a man thing, because there's a gal that I follow on Instagram. She is a fashion designer. And so a lot of like the designs and the ideas that I get for clothes, I get from her. But she makes these little tiny, the little reel things that are on there. And she doesn't play any music or anything like that. It's all just, that's all you hear. All the way through the thing is pop, 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 pop. And it annoys the living heck.
that would be annoying.
So, if there was music or, just something other than just the popping, I don't know.
Right.
If I'm doing it, it doesn't bother me. Maybe because I don't pay attention. But for some reason, her videos drive me absolutely bonkers. But I love watching them with the sound off. So. This could probably, you look like you got thick hair too, Donna. This could probably be your hair after you put curlers in it.
Correct. I have a couple of curls today.
I normally just keep mine up just because it annoys me. So right here, I don't know if you guys can see because it kind of swoops up into itself. I'm bringing
Yes.
this out a little bit further so that you can see how it just tunnels over. And then I'll do the same thing on this one because this one kind of just goes in on itself. Peaches, not now, honey. She sits underneath my desk and she'll sit there and she'll poke me with her nose when she wants up because she wants to be held. And she'll just sit there and she will poke my feet to the point where I can feel her teeth on my feet. And I'm like, whoa, not right now. Okay, I think I have all of them, but I'm not sure. So this one needs to be a little bit darker. Right there. It looks like it's coming around. Oh, I didn't get this side. What are you listening to, Cindy?
Oh, the Olympics. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I can hear it and it sounds interesting. So I'm like, what is she watching?
That's all the way downstairs.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I'm watching it from up here. My craft space is in a balcony, so I can watch
Okay.
the big screen from up here to down there.
Kind of like a little loft area.
Yes.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I usually want to watch different things than everybody else does, so I just have mine in my room.
Yes, that's my TV downstairs. My husband has to have his own TV because all he wants to watch is sports.
My husband, my daughter, it's funny because my daughter will come in here and she'll watch TV with me because she's like, oh, Daddy's watching CSI again. Oops, wrong color. Or she'll be like, or he watches a lot of oh, what's that new, like, there's a new show with Will Smith or something, Uncharted, or maybe that's Ramsey. I don't know what it is. But it's just like documentary stuff. And she's like, oh, it's so boring.
Yes.
I'm like, sorry, kiddo. So she'll come in here, and because I don't really pay attention to the TV while I'm coloring or anything, she'll just turn on whatever she wants, which is
Yeah.
usually Disney or something like that.
Yeah, I don't really watch. I just have to have it in the background.
The noise, that's what I
Yeah.
usually have on. So, do you want me to do this in black too, Donna? Like later?
That'd be
So you
really
can
cool.
see?
Yeah.
Or you know what? Your homework should be to do it in black and let's see what it looks like.
You know, I could do that because I have quite a few of the colors, and after last lesson, I could definitely do that. So that's what I'll be doing.
There we go. We'll let you do the black one, see how it comes out. I'm sure it'll be great.
You will see.
It'll look great. I know it will. Because you did awesome on your little Valentine's card.
Yeah, I'm glad because we would look like two old people until you got involved. It was too light of grays. I got to go darker. So I learned my lesson.
Black was it took a little while for me to learn black. So
Well, I thought black was black, but I found out black is gray.
yes. And you can always have different degrees of the black too.
Do you always use the cool or do you use the neutral or the whatever that warm?
The neutral, well, the warm will give you, here, I'll show you really fast. So it's hard. A lot of people are like, what's the difference? Do I need them all? So this one is the W6. And then let's see, I'll use all the same ones. This is T6. So W is more of like a, I call it dirty, like pond water. It's just like puddle water or something like that. It's just really kind of brownish. And then T is a little bit brown. And then here is C6. That's where you're getting into the more like really true black. And then yep, here's the N6. So that's even more of a darker black color.
So I could do N too.
Yeah, the N and the C's are pretty close, but the N is going to be darker, more of a muted, darker gray, grayish
Okay.
black.
So where do you gravitate to? Do you usually just do the C's?
For black, I usually use the C's because I actually, believe it or not, I don't have all the N colors.
Oh, okay.
So N6 is the highest one that I have. I need to get the rest of them. So I tend to gravitate towards the C's because they are more of a true black, as to where the N has more gray in it.
Gotcha.
And then the T, like the N's, is kind of dirty. And then, or like the W's is really dirty. And then the W's are definitely like a brown. And I put that card away. But I just did some Dudleys, but I wanted him to be white. But when I did him with gray with the C, he looked really more like a zombie dragon. And he looked a little sickly. So I did him with the W's. Let me grab the card really. I'll just grab the card real fast so you guys can see. And he actually came out a lot better with those. Let's see. Where is that card? I have a whole bunch of them that I just stuck. I've decided that I have all these cards laying around. So I've actually decided to start letting them go and get rid of them. So here is the Dudley. And I did him with the W's.
He's cute.
Very cute.
So, but that's the difference. Now, like I said, the gray will give you, the C will give you more of a white because it's really light. Actually, here, I'll show you. So C1, here's C1 that I need to obviously refill. And here's W1. So I don't know if you can tell the difference between the two.
Yeah, there's like a dingy tan going on with the W's.
Yeah. Definitely. Like I said, it looks like puddle water to me. So.
But do a lot of people do animals with W's?
I think they just gravitate to what they like and what they have, because I know that like I've been encountering a lot of people that say that they don't have a lot of the markers. Like I have a friend who does amazing work. He does
Yeah.
great work, but he only has like a handful of markers. He only has like 30 or 40 markers.
Oh, wow.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
he didn't buy absolutely everything like me, because if I have one, I have to have them all. Let's just face it.
That's me. That's me.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
So, you know, and there's some markers, you know, everybody's like, oh, what do I choose? What do I use? You know, stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? Don't do what I did. Do not buy absolutely everything. Here, I'll turn my camera on since I'm not coloring anymore. I don't use absolutely everything. There's markers I have that I have not used like ever, like never ever. So it's really just use whatever you have and whatever you like to use. So like I said, Randy, he only has like 30, 40 markers. But
Wow.
his stuff looks fantastic, but he only uses the colors that he really enjoys. So you can see I'm a little bit of a marker hoarder here. So, you know, yeah, just it really, I tell everybody, just use whatever you like. So like black cats, things like that. Black, I usually use the C's. If I'm doing like white, it depends on what kind of white I want. I'll go to the W's or I'll go to the C's. It just depends on if I want them to look like a dead zombie or not. So, yeah, it just really, really depends on what you want, what you're looking for, and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I can't really say most people use this or most people use that, because it really just needs to be personal preference. So, let's see, any other questions? No? So
Thank you.
my pleasure. So next month we're doing clothes textures or clothing stuff all month. And I'll
Okay.
ask Christine if we can go ahead and use the practice sheets that I'm making for her. So I don't
That
think
would be
she's there.
fun. That'd be a
What was
lot of
it?
fun.
Yeah. So, but I'm sure Cindy will, or Cindy, I'm looking at the computer and it says your name instead of having your face. I'm like, I'm sure Cindy won't care if we use those.
No, I won't. Go ahead.
I'll let Christine know you gave us permission. So, yeah, and I have probably, Great Day in America, I think I have like 9 or 10 different sheets I'm making for her. So the
Oh,
kind with the
fun.
little circles with the clothing and stuff in there. So yeah, I'm just glad she's printing it all out. That's all I gotta say. I really don't want to.
Yeah.
So, but if I keep doing this, you guys will have to come down sometime, and hopefully when my barn gets done, that's
Yes.
something that's going to take, I'm finding out it's going to be a bigger project than what I had imagined. So,
Yes. I'm
It
sure
always is. It always is.
Yeah.
well, at first it looked really easy because there's already electrical out there. So it looked like it was going to be easy, you know, we just had to figure out, you know, change out the lights and stuff like that. And then, you know, I want to leave the outside as original as possible and just update the inside, because there's already cement laid down, you know, so maybe put some nice flooring in and stuff like that and put up some drywall so nothing, you know, the weather doesn't get in, because I mean, the wood's 121 years old. And,
Right.
but then we found out that the breaker box out in the barn really isn't hooked up to anything anymore.
Oh,
So
no.
yeah, and it worked when we bought the house,
Yeah?
but now it doesn't work. So I'm wondering if they put the electricity out there without a permit,
Oh.
disconnected
my.
it when we bought the house.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah. So we have to figure out I need to get an electrician out here and figure out what's going on with that. So, but either way, I'm excited. Even if the barn's just sitting out there, I can see it from my office, the office window that's right here. I can see it directly out my office window. So I get to look at it and dream.
Yeah.
So cool.
It'll all work out.
It will. It'll take some time. I mean, we only been here since August.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll work out.
I've been in my house for over 20 years and there's still projects to do.
Well, I'm
Yes.
noticing that when it's your own house, there's more things that you want to do.
Yep.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
and this is the first time my husband's ever bought a house. And
Oh.
I was telling him the other day, it was kind of funny because I told him, I said, you know what? I said, you're starting to make me think of my granddad. And he's like, well, why? And I said, because now that we have a garage and my grandfather's garage was detached, just like ours, I said, you are always constantly piddling around out in the garage, even if it's just moving boxes. You're out in the garage piddling around like an old man.
Yep. Yep.
So it's been a lot of fun. I like it. Or he keeps going down into the, we have a root cellar underneath the house, like a big, huge root cellar. I'm like, what do you do down there? There's nothing down there. Oh no, I just think it's cool. I'm like, okay, weirdo. Next.
I don't know.
And I have a window that's right here behind my computer. And so I can see the back door because we use the back door because there's a path up there from the garage and stuff. And then the door to the root cellar is right next to the back door. So I can always see him going from the back door to the root cellar and coming back. I'm like, are you bored? What's your deal?
Oh, that's cute though.
Yeah, he's having fun, I think. So it's normally his routine used to be that he would I have not done the laundry in 20 years. He even did my laundry when we were dating. That's when I knew he was a keeper because I hate laundry.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And so I haven't done laundry in 20 years. So his routine was do the laundry and sit in his recliner and watch TV. That's all he would do. And now I know he's happy because he's hardly ever in his recliner. He does the laundry, he piddles outside doing this, doing that. He just, yeah, it's awesome. I love this house.
That's terrific. Well, you enjoy it.
I'm trying.
Yes.
I'm trying.
Yes.
To the utmost. My daughter and I are even making homemade chicken and dumplings tonight for dinner, like my grandmother used to do.
Aw, you
Because my
didn't get
kitchen-
one of the neighbor chickens, did you?
Shh, don't tell my daughter. That'd give her ideas. Oh my gosh. She even they're all mostly brown chickens. Like their feathers are brown, but there's one white one and she named him Colonel Sanders. Because she asked them what their names were and they said that they didn't give them names, that they were just chickens. And so she's named, like there's one that actually has kind of the same coloring as my bunny Carmela. So she has one that's Carmela chicken. And then the white one is Colonel Sanders, which I thought was just like just twisted but funny at the same time.
That's
So,
cute.
yeah. And so she has she loves like in the springtime because it's still cold outside right now, but when we very first moved out here, we would sit outside on the porch and drink our tea and watch all the chickens in our, because they come over to our yard all the time, which is fine. They eat all the bugs and stuff like that. I'm like, go for it, you know?
Yeah.
But we would just sit there and drink our tea and watch the chickens before we started schoolwork and stuff. It was so nice. Now it's too cold.
Nice.
Don't yawn, Donna. You're gonna make me do it.
I am so sorry. It's so relaxing to watch you color that I find myself very sleepy towards the end of it.
Well, I'm glad you said it's relaxing, because otherwise I'd think you were bored.
No, it relaxes me too.
Does it really?
Yes.
See, I can't
Yes.
watch other people color. I find it so boring.
No, it calms me. You know, because
Even
I
with all
have
my
anxiety I have anxiety and stuff like that. And it just calms me. It's so relaxing.
You are so sweet. I'm
It
glad it did that.
is.
Even
It
with all my
is.
chatterboxing.
Oh yeah, it's very relaxing. Like Cindy said, I 20 minutes in, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I need a cup of tea.
Well, I'm glad
Yep.
that you guys enjoy it, because to tell you the truth, I've had friends for years tell me that you need to do this, you need to make videos, you need to, you know, show people how you do this. And I'm like, make videos? Why would anybody want to watch me color? That's so boring. Why would anybody want to do that? So
It's magical. Honestly, I look at the original picture and then what you do with it afterwards. It's transformative. It's really quite amazing. And I feel the same way when I color. I'm not anywhere near your level. Like I'm at beginner A, but when I see it from black and white to the color, I can't believe I did it. It's just amazing.
well, even what you did with your Valentine's Day card, that looked so great. I loved it. Even the background and stuff, because you guys know I don't do backgrounds. I'm not patient enough. That's the number one. I am not patient enough. And the second thing is I am too stingy with my ink. I'm way too stingy.
Well, it is expensive, but honestly, I wanted to do something special for him. So I did.
That's awesome. That's awesome. My husband got the, I don't know if you guys look at my blog or anything, but he got
Every
the
day.
card. He got the card with the two little sheeps that said just
Aw.
the two of us. He got that one because he listens to that song all the time. I call it his old man music.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
funny.
And I get that every single time he plays that song. It never fails. I get it stuck in my head. And so
Oh.
when Alma made that stamp set and then put that sentiment, I was like, yep, I have to make that card for him. I have to. And sure enough, putting that sentiment on there, just putting the sentiment on there, I had the song stuck in my head for days.
I'm afraid I have it on my head now too.
Yeah.
You're
I know, I'm sitting here
welcome.
singing it in my head now.
You are so welcome.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day, everyone. And thank you for sharing your talents with us again.
Yes,
Definitely.
thank you
I
very
want to see
much.
yours with black hair.
Will do. I already printed out the sheet. I just didn't have
Good.
E27, so I'm ready to do it, but not
Good.
right now. Got to go
get
clean
your
the bunny's
tea.
house.
Oh, my daughter did that for me. You can see my bunnies are right. Their little house is right here. That brown.
Oh, they're out of view. I don't see them, but I'm sure they're there. We hear them.
They're not in there. They're running around my room somewhere.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because they're free range. So they get, the only time they're really in there is when they're naughty because they peed on the floor instead of in their potty,
Yep.
or at nighttime for bed. Other than that, they're out of their little house. We call it their cabin.
Yeah.
They're out of their house all day long until bedtime, which for them bedtime is about 6 o'clock when I go to make dinner.
That's great. Yeah,
So-
she's too naughty to leave out. She's just sitting there waiting for me to take her out. She's coming out in a few moments. She doesn't like to be held though, so I can't show you her because she doesn't like it. And my son, who is her handler, he can hold her, is in college. So I don't pick her up. I
Oh.
let her out I pet her a lot, but she doesn't like to be picked
A
up.
lot of bunnies don't like to be held. They don't. Like Carmilla, she'll allow it for like about 2 seconds and then she gets squirrely and she wants to be let go.
Yeah.
Peaches, on the other hand, she will come and nub on my legs and my feet. And if I feel her tugging at my pants when I'm sitting at my desk, that means she wants up and she wants to be held and she wants to be snuggled and pet.
Yeah.
And even I'm friends with the lady that I got all of our, because my daughter has a rabbit upstairs too. And so, but yeah, she says that my rabbit Peaches is just bizarre because most rabbits don't like to be held.
Well, we had a rabbit before Peanut, a Charlie, and he was a lionhead too, and he loved to be held and pet. My son would hold him for hours and just pet him, and he'd just be there. But
That's
her,
awesome.
not so much.
Yeah. See, Peaches, she'll sit there, she'll sit with you. She wants to be held. She wants to be snuggled. You know, she has her spots. I mean, if you lay on the ground, she'll just, like, if you lay down, she'll get on my back and she'll just loaf right there on my back and just stay
So
there.
cute. So cute.
Aw.
I know about the nudging though, because Peanut does that a lot. She gives me a little nudge. Sometimes she'll kiss me. They're very
Yeah.
cute. Today she watches me clean her house. Like, you better make sure it's good. Like, she just
Oh,
watches
so
me.
Carmilla, she'll get in your way. Like, don't touch my stuff.
No,
Just stop
she doesn't-
touching my stuff.
Yeah, she's not that what is it, territorial, thank goodness, but she's fixed, so maybe that's why.
Yeah. See, my two aren't fixed. But they just turned a year old.
Yeah.
So I have a little time. But my daughter's rabbit, she was okay. And then we got her fixed. And then she got like super, super aggressive territorial after we got
Wow.
her fixed.
Well, she didn't like
So
what you did.
no, not
Yeah.
at all. I mean, she
But I'm
will,
glad that we did it. Can I just tell you, I advocate for everyone to neuter their pets.
Oh,
and I'll tell you why. Not just because you don't want more, but because when our vet did it, they found out that her ovary was twisted and she was going to end up getting uterine cancer.
see,
ovarian
and
cancer.
they say that after the age of 3, they have a 70% chance of getting uterine cancer.
Wow.
So they're definitely getting fixed, but with my vet, it's $400 a pop.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
And with these two, since they're bonded and they're together, I have to do them at the same time.
Right, that's a lot.
So tell everybody about my Patreon. No, I'm kidding.
I know. I really like it. I'm still trying to understand it, and the whole other thing that we're supposed to look at, Discord. I'm trying to understand where we're supposed
You
to
know
be.
what? I
but-
haven't even, the Discord stuff is just, it's basically like a little chat room.
Oh, okay.
And so if you guys don't want to bother about it, don't bother with it. I was just told by one of my friends who does really, really well with Patreon to use it. But I mean, if we're not going to be on there chatting and stuff, it's basically like Messenger.
Oh, I see. I've never used it before. I
Oh.
signed up for you. So
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like Messenger. And so, I mean, if you guys, I mean, I'm still on Facebook and you guys are allowed to message me any daggum time you want. And you don't
I
have to
did.
message me through my Copictopia page if you don't want to. Just, you know, message me on regular Facebook, because through my Copictopia page, it doesn't always tell me that you guys messaged me.
oh, okay. So where do you want us to you know, I message you all the time. Should I be doing this too?
Well, you can do it. You can message me on the where you have been so that it's easier. But like, you know how if you message your friends and stuff like that, just if you want to message me just like that, you can too.
Oh,
Just look
okay.
up-
That's great. Yeah, yeah. Because I
Yeah.
don't mind. Yes. All right. I can do that.
Did I
Nope.
do it okay?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
messaging me through like you're messaging your friends.
Okay.
I
So
do
yeah.
Copictopia. So I
Yeah,
will
and there's
message
not a
you.
right way or a wrong way. I'm just saying if you want to get a hold of me a little faster.
Okay.
All right. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
Thanks
So,
again.
Oh, my pleasure. Have fun with your little bun.
I
So
will.
you'll have to take a picture of her and show me a
Oh,
picture of her.
she's a riot. Yeah, we'll see how she's doing. Right now, I don't know. She might be sleeping. She's very annoyed. She gets annoyed with me if I wake her up. So
Oh, that sounds like Carmela. Ooh,
Yeah.
that girl. She
yeah,
gets
very
very
annoyed. A little
irritated.
like not happy. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, even Peaches will get mad at me if I put her down. She'll like,
Aw.
she's not ready to be put down yet, and I'll put her down and she'll thump at me. I'm like, whatever.
I always laugh when I hear the thump. I just think
They're
it's
funny.
funny. Yeah. So
They're seriously funny.
they are. They are. They're so quiet. I mean, they don't, except sometimes when I feed her, she makes this sound, and I feel like she's telling me it's about time.
Carmela, she'll run around and she'll snort like a little pig. It's hysterical.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
So that's the only
cute.
noise she makes is that, rah, 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 and that happens occasionally when I feed her. And
Yeah,
I feel like
Carmela, she'll
mad at
snort
me.
like a pig. She's a
That's
pig.
so funny. These rabbits, I'll tell you. So
They're wonderful though. I love having them.
yeah, we got them from our son because he was on the spectrum and he wanted a pet that he could, you know, bond with. So rabbits is what people suggested. So that's what we did.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
They
he did
didn't say
really
a
well with
dog.
it. We can't have a dog, and I'm highly allergic to cats, so we ended up with the rabbit.
Oh, well, that's a good choice then.
Yeah. Oh, he loved Charlie, and then when we got Peanut, and unfortunately Charlie died. He had urinary issues. He had kidney
Oh,
disease. But yeah, so we had Peanut. We brought Peanut home to be Charlie's friend. They ended up never being friends, but but he kept
Whoops.
looking at us like, why did you bring home this crazy chick? Because she was very aggressive with him. So yeah, we tried to bond them a couple of times and it was not a good experience for anyone. So yeah, so he died. He only lived 2 years, but he was such a
Aw.
sweet little bunny, and we got him when he was a little baby. But Peanut, we got her when she was a little baby too, and she knows I'm saying her name, so her ears keep going. But yeah, but she's not as friendly as Charlie. So what can you
Yeah,
do?
when I brought home Peaches so that she could hopefully bond with Lolly. That's my daughter's bunny. But then Lolly turned into more like a velociraptor and tried to attack her. So I was like,
Yep.
okay, that's not gonna work out.
No.
So I bought another cage
Yep.
so that she
We
could be
had
in
2 as well. Yep.
and
And we even put them side by side, thinking eventually they'll get used to each other's scents and they'll like each other. That didn't work.
Nope.
Plus,
Nope.
we were told that Peanut was a boy. So that, yeah. So I guess, you know, like boy, man, you know, 2 boys actually bond together better than a girl boy. So
Yeah.
that was also our demise. But you know what's so funny is Charlie was like, you know, this big, and Peanut was this big, and she was like trying to take him out. It was like really crazy. I was like, she's like this little ferocious beast. And poor Charlie is like the most docile bunny, kept looking at us like, why? Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, so
Yeah, I
then
know.
Carmela, we ended up getting her a month later. She was actually Peach's litter mate, her sister. But yeah, Lolly was no, she was not happy. Not
No,
happy at all.
I get it. I get it. And that's why we never got Peanut a friend, because we're like, you're not very nice. we can't, we'll have to be your friend because it's not working, you know, because she nearly killed Charlie, poor Charlie. So
They do say that some rabbits like to be solitary.
yeah, I think she's
So.
not. She made that clear.
Oh, and here comes the husband now. He's home from work early. Sweet.
All right.
It's
Well,
so
enjoy.
it's fun because I can see him walking in the back door. I
You
love
have
it.
the view of everything. That's awesome.
I do.
Well, enjoy your family time. It was so nice chatting with you and Cindy. I hope you have a wonderful night.
You
Y'all
too, and you
too.
too, Sandy. Or Cindy, my brain. I will see
That's
you guys.
Hope
okay.
you feel better.
Thank you. I will see you guys. Oh, we're doing that bunny, so you guys will get fur next week.
Is that next week?
Yeah, that's next week.
All right. I'm
'Cause I
still
thought it
working
was
from
funny.
home,
I was
so I
like a
can
hair and a
come.
hair.
All right.
Excellent.
Okay, so
All right,
I will
thank
see you guys
you.
later.
Bye.
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 Let's see.